Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
A liquid used for printing or writing or drawing. Append one's signature to. They inked the contract. Dark protective fluid ejected into the water by cuttlefish and other cephalopods. Fill with ink. Ink a pen. Mark, coat, cover, or stain with ink. He inked his finger. Changed from a solid to a liquid state. Clear and bright. The liquid air of a spring morning. The state in which a substance exhibits a characteristic readiness to flow with little or no tendency to disperse and relatively high incompressibility. Filled or brimming with tears. Sorrow made the eyes of many grow liquid. Smooth and unconstrained in movement. The liquid grace of a ballerina. In cash or easily convertible to cash. Liquid, or fluid, assets. A frictionless continuant that is not a nasal consonant, especially L and R. A substance that is liquid at room temperature and pressure. Existing as or having characteristics of a liquid, especially tending to flow. Water and milk and blood are liquid substances. Fluid matter having no fixed shape but a fixed volume. Smooth and flowing in quality, entirely free of harshness. The liquid song of a robin. Structure displaying a board on which advertisements can be posted. The highway was lined with signboards. A perceptible indication of something not immediately apparent, as a visible clue that something has happened. He showed signs of strain. Mark with one's signature. Write one's name, on. She signed the letter and sent it off. Make the sign of the cross over someone in order to call on God for protection. Consecrate. Any nonverbal action or gesture that encodes a message. Signals from the boat suddenly stopped. Engage by written agreement. They signed 2 new pitchers for the next season. Used of the language of the deaf. An event that is experienced as indicating important things to come. It was a sign from God. Approve and express assent, responsibility, or obligation. Have you signed your contract yet? Communicate silently and non-verbally by signals or signs. He signed his disapproval with a dismissive hand gesture. Astrology, one of 12 equal areas into which the zodiac is divided. Having an indicated pole, as the distinction between positive and negative electric charges. Charges of opposite sign. A character indicating a relation between quantities. Don't forget the minus sign. A fundamental linguistic unit linking a signifier to that which is signified. The bond between the signifier and the signified is arbitrary. A gesture that is part of a sign language. A public display of a message. He posted signs in all the shop windows. Be engaged by a written agreement. He signed to play the casino on December 18th. Communicate in sign language. I don't know how to sign, so I could not communicate with my deaf cousin. Medicine. Any objective evidence of the presence of a disorder or disease. There were no signs of asphyxiation. Place signs, as along a road. Sign an intersection. The liquid parts of the body. The quality of being funny. Put into a good mood. The liquid parts of the body. Middle Ages, one of the 4 fluids in the body whose balance was believed to determine your emotional and physical state. The trait of appreciating, and being able to express, the humorous. A message whose ingenuity or verbal skill or incongruity has the power to evoke laughter. A characteristic, habitual or relatively temporary, state of feeling. The quality of being funny. I fail to see the humor in it. Put into a good mood. The liquid parts of the body. Middle Ages, one of the 4 fluids in the body whose balance was believed to determine your emotional and physical state. The humors are blood and phlegm and yellow and black bile. The trait of appreciating, and being able to express, the humorous. She didn't appreciate my humor. A message whose ingenuity or verbal skill or incongruity has the power to evoke laughter. A characteristic, habitual or relatively temporary, state of feeling. He was in a bad humor. The liquid parts of the body. The liquid parts of the body. Make full, also in a metaphorical sense. Fill or stop up. Become full. Eat until one is sated. Make full, also in a metaphorical sense. Make full, also in a metaphorical sense. Fill a container. Any material that fills a space or container. There was not enough fill for the trench. Occupy the whole of. The liquid fills the container. Become full. The pool slowly filled with water. Fill, satisfy or meet a want or need or conscient or restriction. Assume, as of positions or roles. Eat until one is sated. He filled up on turkey. Fill to satisfaction. Appoint someone to a position or a job. A quantity sufficient to satisfy. He ate his fill of potatoes. Plug with a substance. Fill a cavity. Celebrate by some ceremony or observation. The citizens marked the anniversary of the revolution with a march and a parade. Insert punctuation marks into. Establish as the highest level or best performance. Assign a grade or rank to, according to one's evaluation. Mark homework. Remove from a list. A symbol of disgrace or infamy. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain. A visible indication made on a surface. Some previous reader had covered the pages with dozens of marks. A person who is gullible and easy to take advantage of. A number or letter indicating quality, especially of a student's performance. She made good marks in algebra. A perceptible indication of something not immediately apparent, as a visible clue that something has happened. Something that exactly succeeds in achieving its goal. Hit the mark. An indication of damage. Formerly the basic unit of money in Germany. A distinguishing symbol. The owner's mark was on all the sheep. apostle and companion of Saint Peter, assumed to be the author of the second gospel. To accuse or condemn or openly or formally or brand as disgraceful. A marking that consists of lines that cross each other. Make small marks into the surface of. A reference point to shoot at. His arrow hit the mark. The shortest of the four Gospels in the New Testament. Put a check mark on or near or next to. Mark off the units. Be a distinctive feature, attribute, or trait, sometimes in a very positive sense. Attach a tag or label to. Notice or perceive. Mark my words. Mark with a scar. Make underscoring marks. A written or printed symbol, as for punctuation. His answer was just a punctuation mark. Designate as if by a mark. This sign marks the border. Make or leave a mark on. The scouts marked the trail. The impression created by doing something unusual or extraordinary that people notice and remember. It was in London that he made his mark. Any permanent or washable ink used with pens. A black liquid ink used for printing or writing or drawing. A semi-solid quick-drying ink made especially for use in printing. An ink that contains particles of a magnetic substance whose presence can be detected by magnetic sensors. Ink that cannot be erased or washed away. A black liquid ink used for printing or writing or drawing. A semi-solid quick-drying ink made especially for use in printing. Mark with red ink. Red ink the area that is restricted.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.